everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Squared Triangle. We are going to be talking about Bad Blood today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day out there. Bad Blood was just last Saturday. What are our initial thoughts on it?
So I think they got the 5-match card structure down in terms of like pacing and everything for the actual wrestling. I will complain that this was a 4-hour show with below 2 hours of wrestling on it.
Yeah.
So I still feel like it feels like they just don't respect
almost.
It doesn't feel like they respect their audience's time. You know, we're getting this pay-per-view to watch wrestling, and we're watching more ads than wrestling on all of these shows. It's just...
But
I'm glad the wrestling is actually good for the 5 matches that we get, though. It's kind of like the only saving grace here. I'm starting to think, I'm like, man, if I didn't go out to watch it with a friend and have like dinner and everything and hang out, I would just watch this Sunday without ads and just get it done in like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did for this show, which I thought was pretty decent, you know, other than, you know, having more ads than wrestling. But it's fine, you know, I guess I got to pump them ads out to get those advertising dollars. It is what it is, but I thought the show was really decent, you know.
The show was good.
There was like maybe one match I did not like the finish to, but we'll get into that later. But overall, I just thought it was a solid show for what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also thought it was like I think the matches were good. I think the matches all overall were good, and we'll get into them here in a bit. Yeah, I thought they were good. I think as we start talking about our first match here, probably very obviously match of the night.
Yeah, this definitely stole the show, and nobody else could really keep up the intensity of this as the night went on. Yeah, this match was fucking awesome. And I will say, like, I joke Punk every now and then, but the man was gassed out 10 minutes in, but he kept going. Like, and Drew doing a hell of a job in this match too. Like,
yeah.
I just absolutely love the fact that Hell in a Cell is no longer a pay-per-view. So
it's an actual like stipulation again.
It's a stipulation, and it's the definitive feud ender. And this match showed, okay, because this is probably one of the best Hell in a Cell matches they've done in years. And it pretty much restored the essence of what this match is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a violent, you know, exaggerated, aggressive feud ender. And that's what we got from CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
I will point out the Twitter side hypocrisy of CM Punk throwing a fit over a glass windshield and then busting Drew open hard way with a toolbox. Like, I will point out Punk's a little hypocrisy on that one. He busted Drew open though. Like, Drew was fucking pouring at that point in the match. Like, it was brutal to watch, but it led to so many great visuals in this too.
There were a lot of wrenches used in this match.
They didn't bother, as we're like officially talking about the CM Punk Drew Hell in a Cell match.
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
They didn't bother to censor, like they usually go black and white for
they didn't bother to do that
on YouTube. Didn't even bother.
They didn't bother to black and white it. They didn't bother to stop the fucking match like they did with Edge and Finn.
Oh God!
And that's the one
last year, and I'm like, God.
That's literally the one thing that bothered me about this match was that the refs would come in every once in a while and like try to wipe the blood off with a towel, which Drew would just shove them away, like, you know, get the fuck out of here. You know, I don't need that. I just think that kind of ruins the immersion of the match a little bit. That's just a minor gripe on my end.
I disagree, but only because you motherfuckers need to be able to see to do your spots correctly.
Yeah,
I mean, but they could just like, you know, maybe wipe the blood out a little bit there. Maybe, I don't know.
They got the towel was a way to get it all the way off.
Okay, so that was just a minor complaint for me. I understand why they did it. It's just a minor complaint.
It was a losing effort on Drew though. Like, his head was fucking busted open.
Like he was leaking really bad.
Have you ever sweated and gone like this and you're like, fuck, my eyes hurt? That's exactly what happened if you wiped your eyes.
You just put fucking salty sweat into your eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same concept.
But so yeah, this match was basically the feud ender. I mean, they bust out everything: steel steps, tables, toolbox wrenches. a chained knee with the GTS for the finish. But Drew bumped like shit during this match too. I think the spot that everybody really agrees is like that fucking sucks to take was missing the Claymore and landing half on the steps.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable as hell because it reminded me of a spot they did, you know, between Rick Rude and Sting back in Japan. That was the kind of spot that ended his career. Okay,
no, that was the
first.
It was the crossbody
Like,
over the ropes and Rude caught him, but they had like weird like elevated part outside the ring, and yeah, he landed like straight back on it.
And it just reminded me of that because Drew kind of landed right in that same area on his back, and it was just uncomfortable to watch.
There was a great visual here where Drew was begging Punk, like he's just bleeding, and he's like begging Punk to stop, and then low blows him. And it's just like they just everything about this match just fit so well together. There was a sweet suplex spot through the table on the outside.
It's a very good feud ender.
It is.
It really was.
Did you guys see Raw on Monday?
I have not. No,
I did.
So after this match on Monday, CM Punk comes out and starts talking about like how he may not be able to continue or he's going to be gone for a while because he got fucked up in the cell, which that's just what happens.
And he sold it too afterwards, like even leaving the match, like he's falling over in the aisle and you know all that other stuff.
Yeah, they had to get the oxygen mask for him.
And then Seth Rollins comes out, so I'll be excited to see what happens between them two, if anything at all.
Yeah, that feud's been bubbling since he showed up. So
Seth comes out and he's like, "I hope you get well soon, Punk, so you can come back and I can knock you back out and send you back home."
Yeah, anyway. And a lot of stuff too. Monday is also, you know, Rollins not fully trusting Jey Uso also.
Yeah,
when he came out, so it's like even though they fought side by side a while back, you know, it's still some tension there.
It's still Raw.
Yeah. Yeah, this match is great. I would say if anybody would likes, you know, I know that people is hit or miss with the violence and everything. But this is a great Hell in a Cell match just in terms of, you know, a blood feud reaching its, you know, finale.
That's exactly what they needed to get to that next point.
Because the whole feud was kind of hit or miss at times. I mean, they were fighting over a bracelet, and this actually like brought some fire to these two guys hating each other. And it was fantastic.
Again, using matches like this for feud enders instead of pay-per-views is just much better. And I hope they do the same with TLC because I don't even think that's a pay-per-view anymore. It still is it?
I don't think so. No, I think it's just
well, good. It should just be a stipulation match as a feud ender.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely my match of the night. I think most people would agree that this was, you know, the big match of the night. Even though the star power in the main event was there, I think this match just stole the show right from the get-go.
Yep.
I don't think anything kept the intensity of this, you know, going forward. The next match, we have Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. I think we were talking about on Discord, this just felt like a TV match. I mean,
this could have been a SmackDown match.
I will posit that you can't have this ultra violent, you know, possibly match of the night, and then just go to another banger after that. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't like an okay past match.
they could have tried. It's like
no, I thought it was a fine match. You can't go from one strong match to like you can't keep the same energy in two matches.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling Tony Khan that, by the way.
I mean, Nia Jax tried to do,
and he's wrong.
I mean, Nia Jax tried to do a Hurricanrana and could not, and it looked awful in the match. Like when Bayley had her.
They practiced it several times, and they were like, "Okay, we can do this in the ring."
Yeah, and the one time it did not work.
Yeah. Yep.
I think this match serves a purpose, and that is to further Tiffany Stratton and Nia's tension friendship.
Yes.
Because it's like, is Tiffany going to cash in on Nia? You know, is she going to cash in on somebody else just in case Nia loses? Like, and Nia is noticing like Tiffany's always there. like near the end of the match, so it's definitely interesting to see where all that's going. Also, a little interlude to all this. There was an announcement during this pay-per-view for Crown Jewel, which we're not going to cover, where apparently they're going to do champion versus champion for a third title, which I think is only going to be mentioned in Saudi Arabia whenever it gets brought up. But my God, that is the ugliest fucking title I've ever seen in my life.
I said this on Discord, but it is like they tried to make an AEW title, but made it look ugly.
The Temu AEW title,
because the side plates don't match the front plate of the title, and it's hideous. It's a jewel encrusted fucking mess, is what this belt is.
50-carat diamond, according to Triple H.
And they didn't even put one thought into how this belt looked. I thought this thing was hideous looking.
So it's just so funny though, because it's like, do they bring that back to the US, or is that like bronze title where they just forget it once they leave Saudi Arabia?
I think it's just a Saudi only title, in my opinion.
It's
like an annual tournament.
Let's say that Cody wins it. Does Cody go back to Saudi Arabia next year with the title on as he's still champion? Or
shit, I don't know.
Like,
I think
was more than an hour thought process put into this.
No, it's probably just going to be some annual title that it's going to be champion versus champion. This is going to be a once a year thing. I don't think
they also said that it was for both. It's the men and the women. They only showed one title, so they're like, oh, the women's title probably looks worse. Like,
it probably just
or
the title with white strap.
Yeah.
Or they both look the same. Yeah. They're just like, hey, we're saving money, just two identical ones.
Imagine if Liv wins that and it's like goes up to her chest.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up in this match. We're going to get Nia versus Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel. If Tiffany cashes in, can she walk out with both titles, or does she have to call one of them?
Good question. It's not going to come up, I don't think.
I think it's just one.
Because
it's just the WWE title.
Yeah, it's just like, do you have to pick one, or can she walk out with both? I do think we may see a cash in though at Crown Jewel. She might take it off Liv, and maybe they like pivot or something. But I have no idea, and I wonder how long they're going to have her hold on to this. Okay,
so I'm just going to say this about that title. Think Owen Hart tournament, but without the tournament, or Owen Hart. That's pretty much what this is. It's just a champion versus champion, match for this title. That's pretty much only going to be seen once a year on Saudi television.
Yeah. We are getting Cody. We are getting Cody versus Gunther out of it though, which is going to be fun to see.
Yeah.
All thanks to Sarah. So he's going to take one chop and just be like, "What the fuck?" It's like he's going to tear his pec right off again.
Like, fuck! One chop, he's going to be out for 6 months.
But yeah, this match.
I can't wait to see that like behind the scenes of that, and it's like as soon as he chopped me that one time, I felt my pectoral bone go.
Yep.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, Bayley had like such a great run coming back and all that, as a babyface and getting the championship and all that, and it's just kind of like after this loss, I just don't know what direction could be had for her. Like, I just feel like she's going to be in like this weird like floating space as they move into Nia's next feud with whatever's going on with Tiffany Stratton and all that. And I don't know. I think we're going to get a few weeks of like just weird booking because of Crown Jewel, and then we'll be back on track. But it's just because I think last night's Raw was like part 1 for a live show, and then they did a taping for next week. And like people are already posting stuff
should be out now.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so we know a lot of shit that's going to be happening next week. But yeah, I mean, they got 14 minutes for this match. They made it work. I mean, there was a few like sloppy spots here and there. Tiffany comes out, Nia hits the Samoan drop into the Annihilator, and then, retains the title. But not a bad match, but definitely not one that's like, whoa. Wrestling.
It was good.
I will say I do like the teasing between Tiffany and Nia.
I do like the slow burn there. Yeah, I do like the slow burn there, and I definitely feel like Tiffany is going to betray Nia. get the title. Like it's definitely building to that, and Tiffany's just so good in her role about it.
And that Tiffany face turn is going to hit like crack when it actually happens, because this crowd is already in love with this girl.
Yeah.
You know, and she's earned every bit of that.
I'm really upset that when they started pointing out how everyone has to say the catchphrase before the music starts, because now I can't enjoy Tiffany Stratton's theme anymore, because then it's also Bailey's theme and like, you know, other people's themes as well.
Oh yeah, it's just like Bailey's is like role model, and then it hits the X-Men cartoon guitar riff.
Yeah,
it's like,
is that a Def Rebel thing, or did they?
It's a Def Rebel thing. It's Def Rebel.
It's a Def Rebel thing.
Release this man.
They're on the way out. A couple more months, guys. A couple more months, fellas.
Yeah, dude. There was a whole thing a few months back on Twitter. There was like this whole thing for Def Rebel, like as a trend. It's like, hey, look, Def Rebel just dropped somebody's new theme. And it's like just a catchphrase and then like just garbage noise. It's like, and I'm like, I was like, God, it's true. Like these themes fucking suck.
They're like, we did the John Cena one. The time is now. You can't see me.
Yeah.
We had it so good with CFOs, man. We really did.
We did.
CFOs, fucking Jim Johnson, but that guy's old as shit. He's not coming back. Like, this next match, I have some feelings about, because did this feel like a feud ender, or was this just another match between them?
This is another match between them.
Okay. 12 minutes is bullshit time for this match.
Again, it's just one of those matches that could have just been on Raw, you know, because that's what it felt like to me. It didn't necessarily mean it was bad. It's just
we had no secondary titles on this. We had no Intercontinental or US title that probably could have filled, you know, this spot. I mean, the story with LA Knight and Carmelo and Andrade right now would have been a great, you know, mid-card, you know, thing to keep building on, but 12 minutes for Damian Priest and Finn Balor in just a normal match, not even like a stipulation match, just feels wrong at this point in the feud. Like,
I am looking forward to the eventual Survivor Series match between Judgment Day and the Judgment Day plus other people. Just a huge Hispanic match.
I can't wait for the classic Survivor Series of Judgment Day versus one Damian Priest, and Damian Priest wins.
They put Rhea Ripley in there for some reason.
12 minutes. I mean, this was a good match. Like, both these guys are great performers. This match definitely was just like Priest dominating for most of the match, and then when Finn got the upper hand, it was his agility and the speed compared to, you know, Damian's size and all that. Eventually, Judgment Day does come out, but you know, Damian able to survive through all of it. Fucking throws JD out of the ring. Guy got some air when he went over the rope.
Yep.
And then just South of Heaven for the win for Damian Priest. And yeah, I mean, it felt like, I don't know. This feud at this point feels like it deserves a little more than this. I just don't know if they're like, hey, we have to cut time because maybe the Punk and Drew match went over. But I'm like, you guys still have 2 hours of ads. You could picture or some shit. Like,
I mean, you could cut into the ad time a little bit and add more time to this match. I mean, it's a 4-hour pay-per-view with 5 matches. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I think first thing I feel like the first thing they do when they're like booking time for matches is the ad space of like, no, the ad space is set. This is a set point. Everything else works around it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
Structurally, they gotta get that Netflix money.
And that's the thing, like, they have the Netflix money. Like, structurally, these B pay-per-views with 5 matches, about hour and a half to 2 hours of wrestling on a 4-hour show just feel like it's the time equivalent of what Kevin Dunn was doing with the filming. It's like,
yeah.
It's just like, shit. What's the thing? It's just like, you know, the fucking comic, it's like, man, I can't fit any gaming into my schedule. Or can I? And he's like pulling the sleep out of the stack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the thing. It's like, man, I can't fit any more wrestling onto this card. And it's just like half the thing's fucking ad time.
Yep.
It's just like, but maybe I can. Like, I don't know.
5-10 minutes here and there makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, man, I really want to start watching these things on, Sundays, but I do like going to my buddy Josh's house and hanging out and stuff like that. So it's just like, man, it could be finished by now. Like,
for the next show for AEW's pay-per-view, I'm gonna have to watch that the next day because
Wrestle Dream
will be unavailable.
At the time of recording this, Wrestle Dream is this Saturday. I would have probably been there live if the impromptu plan had gone through.
You should have just let it happen.
I should have just let it happen. I was like, just drop the money on the train ticket, take a week off.
Sometimes you just gotta let it rip, man. Yeah, let something like that rip. It's once in a lifetime.
You could have met friend of the show, Anxiety Lasagna.
Yeah, she was like, I kind of want to go, and I was like, if you buy tickets, let me know. I'll front you the money for mine, and I will get out there. And I would have taken like a 3-day train ride.
Yep.
I don't want to fly. I hate flying.
Coward.
But I could have gone to Wrestle Dream, but it didn't happen this year. Might plan for next year.
But the next match is Rhea versus Liv
with Dominic Mysterio in a Shark Tank. And boy, I can't wait to talk about Dom because there's some crazy shit, but also, my God, the stocks of these women in this feud about Dom are kind of dropping for me now. You have 2 incredible performers. Quit letting them fight over a man. Like, it's just
this feud is not passing the Bechdel test.
It is not passing the Bechdel test.
And it hasn't been for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's like you have these 2 fantastic performers, and you're having them fight over Dom Mysterio. It's like, and it's funny because you can't mention that Rhea's married because he's not in the company anymore. So, but yeah, it's.
Well, Rhea swears up and down that she's over him. So, like, Yeah,
this is just her beating the shit out of Liv Morgan now at this point. This was an okay match. Again, it was Rhea having a lot of the physical dominance because that's, the believable aspect between her and Liv. But Liv is able to get sneaky and get some offense in. The end of this match, and oh my God, if anybody watches this pay-per-view, you can hear a cricket in that fucking arena with this finish because nobody wanted this shit. It's like the arena went dead fucking silent, and there was confusion in terms of the ref and whether or not the match was done. And then Raquel also not realizing the match was done. Like, it was such a fucking mess at the end of this.
It was a bit of a clusterfuck, yeah.
This was so poorly timed,
I do want to give it to Dom, though. Hell of a spot falling out of the cell with the chain.
And I might be crazy, but I swear to God, I could see the cable that was hooked up to his stomach when he was.
Yeah, no, he was wearing a waist harness.
He was wearing a harness.
Yeah, he kind of had it like go around his leg to make it look like he was there, but because of the waist cloth that he wears, you could see it. It was covering the waist harness that he was attached to.
I was like, man,
can we?
A great spot though.
Off the bat.
Can we talk about the best part of this match, of where Dom falls out and is hanging out, and Rhea's like, I gotta go beat his ass, and the ref's like, all right.
Yeah, so he falls out, and Rhea's like, sorry, I've got to. She says something to the ref, and he's like, you deserve this. It's like
he just lets it happen, and I'm like, okay, that's a first.
I was like, that's
just kind of like throwing a rule
that's
book
really
out.
Funny.
Kind of based, actually.
A based referee. And yeah, then she takes a kendo stick, and even on commentary, she just starts beating Dom like a pinata, which was really funny.
Which came up again during the media scrum.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dom. He's like, I think Dom's scared of pinatas now.
I did like how they joked. It's like him being in that shark cage. He spent more time in there than he has in actual prison.
Yeah.
And Corey Graves also being like, that man served hard time, like continually being the heel commentator that he is.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, beating the shit out of Dom with the kendo stick. And then after 7 months, Raquel Rodriguez comes back, siding with the Judgment Day, attacks Rhea. They ring the bell for the disqualification. They get back into the ring, and she puts Liv on top of Rhea to pin her. And I'm sitting there watching like, what the fuck?
Because originally that's how that match was supposed to go.
Did the ref call for the bell by accident?
No, I mean, no, he had to, because I think Raquel messed up the timing. She came out way too early, and the ref saw, and she did this in the plain sight of the ref, so the ref kind of had no choice but to ring the bell for the DQ.
Yeah, the referee has to call the match down like by the rules.
Yeah.
Like, so even if they have a plan, the ref has to be like, well, I mean, I saw that.
He has to call an audible in case something gets screwed up like that.
Yeah, so I'm reading that right here. I'm reading that right here via disqualification due to the ref botching the finish as he noticeably turned around after seeing Raquel attack Ripley. So yeah, the ref fucked it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. And yeah, at this match, like the ending of this match got so fucking messy for everybody involved. But yeah, Liv retains because of disqualification. But yeah, Raquel's back. She sided with Judgment Day. So now they have somebody else with power to kind of stand up to Rhea. I think Rhea is probably going to need some backup at this point, and I'm like, who can we get? Is Alexa Bliss coming back?
But I think right now they should just put Rhea and Liv on pause and just have her feud with Raquel for a while. You know, just to kind of get to the Royal Rumble.
Have good matches.
Yeah, they really do. Going back to NXT also, so.
Yeah, so it's nice to see Raquel back after her hiatus and all that, and to be thrown into a televised feud like this. It's nice to get her back into the action. It just sucks that it came at the cost of a very sloppy finish to an otherwise okay match. And again, I think this is also probably just a timing thing. I think if you gave them more than 14 minutes, they probably could have made this a little bit better, especially with the Dom stuff, in the cage or trying to escape the cage and being caught up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But give it credit to Dom though, that I thought he just was going to fall out and take the fall. Then I saw the chain and I was like, oh, what a fucking spot.
Yeah.
Or maybe go out over and land on his feet or something. But otherwise, it was a great little addition. But I need these two women to stop, feuding over a guy at this point. Or at least get Dom out of it, which is why I hope Raquel's back now. So it's now just, Liv and Rhea, and Dom can do whatever.
Yeah.
When was the last time he actually had a match?
Dom?
Yeah.
He had a match a couple weeks ago on Raw. Can't remember who's against what.
I think I've seen him just be like...
recently.
Yeah, okay. I think I've seen him be more sideline than wrestler recently, but I don't watch the weekly shows that much, so... It's gonna be a very short episode. We're half hour in and we're on the last match. I think
it's a very short pay-per-view.
To be fair though, it is a short pay-per-view. These 5 match cards are probably gonna be like this. But let's get into the star-studded match that is the main event. And I say star-studded loosely because I think I posted it in the Discord, out of a 4-member family faction, Solo is the 5th most interesting person. So
which it sucks because Solo had such a great aura about him when
he had a great run in NXT. No, he had a great personality and a great run in NXT, and then he came to the main roster and then went back as champion or something. Remember?
Yeah.
And it was just they just took all that away when they made him the silent enforcer type, and I'm like, no, the man couldn't have a personality. You guys just took it away from him because you're trying to have an Umaga clone. But we get the unlikely tag team of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, aka Team Elaborate Entrances. Cody, please get rid of the fucking skull mask. It does not
look. He needs to leave that fucking thing at home, okay? Because every time I see that damn mask,
at least gets one that fits.
Skeletor meme. Okay,
Get it
I just
fixed.
expect Cody. I just expect Cody to just rail off some shit and be like, "Until we meet again." Like, just please leave that fucking thing at home.
So he can just get one that like fits. You know, instead of being like a full helmet that he has to fucking wear.
He has to do a Triple H cosplay or it's not the main event.
That's fair. And then we get the Bloodline, who in this iteration is Solo and Jacob Fatu. And just Jacob Fatu has just all the crowd's attention out of this fucking group. Like the man came in, everybody's like, it's that guy who did awesome shit on the indies. He's here, let's go.
Remember when they were worried about him having more aura than Solo? That has become a reality.
There is a reason for that.
There's a big reason.
The man's more expressive. He has like the right energy for his aggression when he wrestles. He's just the way he presents himself is just so enticing to people. Like he's like, man, he is the Samoan werewolf.
He's exciting. Okay, he's exciting to watch. He's exciting to listen to. And if you heard any of his promos, they're fun to fucking watch.
That man is smoking Newports on the on a street corner.
Yes, he is.
Go look up that promo if you haven't seen it yet. He's just
I'm about to find that
on a stoop.
He's smoking Newports left and right.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to find that. That's fantastic.
God.
I really like this match though. In terms of the action in it. It kind of slow to start.
It was well paced.
It was well paced.
Yeah.
It was slow to start, but when everything started going crazy and the action started picking up, and then, you know, the typical Bloodline interferences came in and we got returns back and everything, it all kind of picked up in the right pace. And 25 minutes, a perfect length of time for all of this.
I really liked when I like the energy that they were giving Jacob, where, you know, they'll do like a signature move of one of them, if it's either Cody or it's Roman or whoever, and Jacob like fucking no sells it for a second there. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want in my unkillable demon werewolf.
Yeah, it's just he's the enforcer, and it's proving like it's going to take more to put him down. Yeah, than what people are used to. Yeah, it's a great back and forth. I mean, I want to know if it was meant to be a crucifix driver and Solo just didn't, you know, do the motion to like fall back, but Roman pulling out a crucifix for a pin. I'm like, Roman's reaching deep into the fucking moveset.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I thought that was odd coming from him, you know.
The way that it was set up, I think it was supposed to be a crucifix driver. I just don't think Solo did like the jump back to.
He didn't rotate enough, yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of fell back into the pinning situation. But I'm like, oh, dude, they could have just had Roman do a crucifix driver in fucking 2024. But yeah, I mean, everybody still fucking loves Roman.
Yep.
The guy came back and he's just making his way into being the biggest babyface on the roster again.
Yep. Towards the end of the match, the fucking Tonga Toa and Tagaloa come out and try to interfere in the match. And out comes Jimmy Uso.
I do want to point out, Tagaloa memed himself again by taking off the full belt holder instead of a single belt during the ladder match for the tag team titles. If you all had caught that, he took the whole thing off.
I did.
It's fine.
And I'm just like, this man has to be doing it like consciously now, right?
It's a bit. It's a bit
at this point. It's like
fucking way.
It's like Tama Tonga's like yee that he does. Like I'm like, these two guys just
that was unironically kind of funny though.
I'm like, these two guys are just doing bits at this point. They're like, we're retiring from this company at some point in time, so let's just be fucking weird about it.
I'm tenured. What are you gonna do about it?
And
what are you gonna say? I'm with him. I'm with the main event. What are you gonna do? Get me out of the main event?
But yeah, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa show up, and then a masked individual gets out from under the ring. It is Jimmy Uso back after a 6-month hiatus, I think.
6-month hiatus. We hadn't seen him since April when he got attacked.
Takes out the new Bloodline on the outside, helps them turn the tables a bit. Solo eats a super kick into a spear, and Roman pins him for the win. There's a nice little reunion after this match of Jimmy and Roman. And they hug it out. The crowd loves it.
Pops.
The crowd pops so hard. Like, Cody's not even like putting himself into the picture at this point. He's just in the ring. He's letting these two get their moment.
They leave the ring.
They leave the ring. And Cody gets mugged.
Yeah, like
4 guys are beating the shit out of him, and Roman's even telling Jimmy, "It's like this was a one-time agreement," and Jimmy's telling him, "It's like I'm gonna do whatever you do." And Roman tells him, "Let's go back." And Jimmy, no hesitation, runs back to help Cody. So it's like the big babyface turn for these two, at least for the moment. They lay out the bloodline. And yeah, it's a nice, babyface is standing tall at the end. It's good to see Jimmy back. I wonder if the story's ever going to tie in Jay again, see how they, reunite. But it looks like we're getting the original bloodline brought back.
What's going to happen is during the next pay-per-view, what's going to happen is they're going to just meet up in backstage and just have a moment where they just look at each other. That's probably going to be it.
I wouldn't be mad either if
different brands.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad either if Jimmy, offers him a handshake, because Jay is a solo act now. He is like one of their top solo stars now, and I don't think if it's like, hey, back at the tag team, I think that's gonna hurt more than help.
That'll hurt.
The guy just won the Intercontinental title, and he's just proven to be a big breakout star right now on his own. So if they do have a team up, it's going to be temporary, I think.
Yeah.
They might do it for Survivor Series.
I did not see Raw. Is this match and his affiliation with Roman the reason why Kevin Owens fought Cody backstage?
No,
this was risky because after the pay-per-view, through fan footage, not even through WWE shit, they show Cody and Kevin Owens arguing, and then Owens beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And then they said it's going to be handled internally.
I like it. I fucking love this. It was back
risky.
This brings back it's risky, but I fucking love this. This honestly, is some good shit.
This honestly,
man, it's just brilliant. If you can't put everything on the show, do bits like that for online for people to get the buzz around.
This is good social media use.
Yeah.
Yes.
But to be fair, this is also the same shit that people are shitting on AEW for pushing their stories with, is all the shit that you see on Twitter only. But then you have shit like this happening, so it's like, let both companies use this. Use Twitter. People are on Twitter. Like,
this needs to be a thing with both companies going forward. I don't know why people were just shitting on it when another company does it. Who fucking cares? Okay, this is good use of social media. This is a good way to push stories without having to put everything on television and,
I think it's also because they have 2 hours of Raw now.
Also, to answer your question, Sharky, what they Cody said they talk about it on Friday. So it is not Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that they did show Cody meeting with Sami Zayn, and Sami's like, hey, if you want to talk about what happened, because, Sami Zayn knows what it's like to be jumped by Kevin Owens. So
Sami Zayn, you would say, is an expert at it.
It's almost like it's a constant thing that Kevin Owens does to people.
Also, Cody, please stay away from tour buses at night. That's all I'm saying.
It's his tour bus.
Every time he gets his ass beat like this is in front of a tour bus, please stay out of that area.
The one that has the Wheatley vodka stuff, that's his tour bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, it's like just jumping him in front. How mad do you have to be to mug a man in front of his own tour bus? His wife and daughter are probably on that tour bus right now. But yeah, this Roman Cody match did not overstay its welcome. It did a great return. The right team won, even with the shenanigans. And this is definitely building up to what I suspect is Roman versus Rock, because they wanted to do that last year, but then Cody went into business for himself and, got the main event or all that shit. But after this match, Rock's music hits. He comes
Cody
out
going
with
into
his
business for himself. Did you mean like Did you mean the bit where he's like the most over person in the company that every fan wanted to see?
Yeah.
That part where he went into business for himself?
The little interview where it's like he went to business for like pointing to the WrestleMania sign and shit like that.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
the going into business for himself, which is obviously
Uh-huh.
they were like, we can't fucking deny Cody Rhodes and Roman at Mania. What the fuck are we thinking? But
Yep.
Rock wants Roman. He's been vocal about that, like as a WrestleMania match. He comes out with his fake Little People's Champion belt, does a nice little 1, 2, 3, and does the throat cut. And I'm like, we're getting Rock versus Roman. Like this is, it's finally happening. You know,
Which means, and I think this is going to be for the title too. So I don't think Cody's days as champion are going to be too much longer. I do think at some point they are going to pull the title off Cody so they can make this match happen at WrestleMania, because now is the perfect time to do it. They have the story for it.
yeah.
You know, they didn't have it last year because it was
title.
Yeah, because
my friend, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
My friend Josh asked me about it when he did the count into 3 and then did like the little throat slash. I'm like, could this be a triple threat also? Like going in to Mania?
It could be.
But
Maybe.
I just don't see, because when would the title have to come off of Cody? That'd have to be Survivor Series.
No,
right?
they would probably do it on.
They could do it at the Rumble.
They would do
The
it at
Rumble.
honestly, they're not even at the Rumble either at the Rumble, or they would do it on the first episode of Raw, you know, for Netflix, because they want to
true.
make that as big as possible.
Oh God, yeah, the first fucking episode of Raw on Netflix, The Rock's winning the title. It's like
It's just
it's
like what they did to Kofi Kingston. They fucking mugged him.
yeah.
On
God,
SmackDown with the Fox.
they're going to make Rock undisputed champion, aren't they?
For a couple months until Roman beats him.
No.
That just put a
Maybe.
shiver down my spine. Cody's going to preemptively like prepare himself. He's going to enter the Rumble as champion and win it. So when The Rock wins the title,
Brock
he's
Lesnar
like,
himself.
hey bitch, I want my title shot. It's like, but yeah, like it's. I feel like The Rock's just
that would
kind
be
of
fun, but that would be fun booking for Cody to be the first 3-time back-to-back winner,
yeah, just to win his title back. Like,
and then lose the main event, and then just be like, "All right, I'm cashing it in." Then that would be funny as hell. I would like that.
I do feel like though this is just kind of Rock pushing himself into situation as a TKO executive.
No,
Like-
it is.
It is. You ain't got. It's not.
There's
kind of,
a weird mix of like, this is a good story that we have built up for Rock and Roman, but at the same time, it's like all the timing of it just feels off. You know?
The Rock is doing the thing that I think Chris Jericho got into his head about in AEW about like,
Yes.
oh yeah, these guys needed my star power. They don't need it anymore, guys.
They don't need it
They
anymore.
don't.
The most
They have it for several years.
the most popular
especially in
person
Jericho's
on
case.
the most popular person on Jericho's team is Big Bill. Like, let's be honest.
That is true.
But it's just like, I don't know, it's just like all the timing of the Rock stuff feels so off. And I was like, I don't even think you need the title for Roman Rock. I think it's just like a whole, you know, like tribal leadership is enough to sell that story. Where
It
Cody
is,
can
but-
go. I think we're going to get probably
Yeah.
Cody Randy at Mania. Like, I think that's probably the
I
bigger
would
picture.
love that.
I mean,
That would be
especially
a
with
much better.
with Randy, you know, how, you know, up there Randy's getting, and also, you know, he's going for multi-time champions and all that stuff like that.
I
I
don't.
mean, I can see that too.
I don't think Roman Rock's gonna be for the title. I think the reason that The Rock has the People's Championship is to placate his ego about going
Yes.
into the ring with the title.
Yes.
So I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they're going to put a real championship on the line for it.
Yeah, I don't think they need the actual championship. I think just Roman Rock sells it on its own.
And I know they
Um,
don't, you know, but at the same time, it's like they're doing WrestleMania in Vegas, and this would be an opportunity to make this thing as big as possible. So them putting them in a WWE Championship match would kind of make sense, even though they don't need it. It would just sell the gate for WrestleMania up by itself. And I think that's what they're hoping for, because this WrestleMania in Vegas is supposed to be huge.
Yeah, it is 2 nights,
We'll
and
see.
I can see War Games you know, kind of being the prelude to that, where maybe Rock and Solo and their bloodline is against, you know, Roman, Jimmy, maybe Jay at this point. It's like, hey, we need to pull together some, you know, other guys. You know, we'll pull Cody back in. Sammy's ready to fight alongside Jay, and, you know, maybe progress or at least heal the story of Roman convinces Seth to help him. You know, you just have a nice, you know, Cody, Sammy, and the Usos. Yeah, so you don't even need Seth. It's just 5v5 in War Games, and then that can like be the build up to Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just Rock, you know,
I'd watch that.
Being like, Solo, you can't do shit. Solo, give me that fucking thing. Like, and yeah, it's just have a nice drawn out maybe 3 pay-per-view thing with Rock Roman and then finish it up at Mania. And yeah, it just that sells Mania on its own. Just the Rock Roman. Mm-hmm. Just that star power alone sells that event.
And it's the right time to do it, you know, because what else do you got going on? You know?
Yeah. And then we'll probably, I want to say, if I had to guess, we'll probably get the Randy Cody match, because I think they have kind of been teasing that for a while. And I actually can't think of a better Mania match for Cody. Like, he can probably do Cody KO, but I think Cody Randy is the bigger, you know, marquee match.
I would say Cody Randy is the bigger match also, because you know, it would pretty much tie into Randy's journey to try to break the record finally, because he's at what, 15 now. And
I think that could be the whole story. The whole story going in, like, you know,
it's also a several decades old storyline.
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, yeah, they're in the legacy, you know, and all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, that's just the bigger story that you can build out of those two. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Mania. I mean, right now we got to get through Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble and whatever else they have, whatever B shows they have. It is just that, right? Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and Mania. Okay, so those are the next 3 events that we have for WWE. No weird like B shows.
Nope.
Interesting.
They're starting WrestleMania season early.
Yeah. They are doing their like Saturday night's main event, but I don't think we're gonna be watching that one. Is that supposed to be like a big show, or is that just like a super house show?
It's just a wrestling show. Yeah, it's just another like televised show.
Yeah, it's in December.
And then I'm looking at this
shit.
I'm looking at this shit, dude. Just Mania 2 nights, SummerSlam 2 nights, and it's like, God, we're gonna have so much fucking work. Like,
yeah.
And sooner or later they're gonna get the idea in their head for the Royal Rumble to be 2 nights. So
I don't think they're gonna do Rumble 2 nights. I think that would be way too much for them.
It'd be overkill if they did. I hope they don't.
Yeah, but, it would be major overkill.
Also, sorry too, Randy right now has the most pay-per-view matches of a roster. Like, of their roster of all time. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe Randy can get his big win at Mania and kind of cement himself as like their top pay-per-view guy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been in the company, what?
He has had 22
years at this
point.
point.
Yeah, he's had Mania moments.
Yeah, man has almost reached fucking 200 pay-per-view matches.
Yep.
That's wild. But yeah, so we got that. And I think with AEW, we have Wrestle Dream. I don't think we're doing Wrestle Dynasty because that's Japan.
That's when I wake up at 2 in the morning to watch that.
I do not. Like, I want to be sleeping.
What's the matter? You want to get up at 2 in the morning?
No.
Exactly.
We have Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, World's End. And yeah, starting next year, Wrestle Dream. Australia. Okay, so yeah, there's 2 back-to-back that will be in weird time zones.
Yep.
But all in Texas. Deca, you gonna go? You gonna try to go?
Hell no. It's in Arlington. Fuck Arlington. It's like 7 hours away.
It's just crazy because that's how big Texas is.
Yeah. If you drive 8 hours to the west, you're still in Texas by the end of that drive.
It's like with us, actually, if we drive 7 hours to the west, we're just about to hit West Virginia.
Yeah, basically, or Tennessee, one of them two.
Yeah. Texas is fucking huge.
No,
Texas is massive.
It's way too goddamn big. It's way too far away. I'm not doing that. Even if I had the money to do it, I would not.
So yeah.
Imagine having to catch a flight in the middle in your state.
So yeah, looking at the time here,
I've had to do it before.
We're at 50 minutes, gentlemen. So I'm gonna do a quick glance to see what our other B show time was. But I think we don't have much else to talk about for this pay-per-view.
I don't think so either.
Unfortunately, these smaller pay-per-views don't give us a lot of time.
That's fine.
I'm gonna open up this.
Not all of these episodes have to be like an hour long.
Yeah, not all of these can be fucking crazy.
Not all of them are going to be because, like we said.
Okay, so looking at the Bash at Berlin one, that was about an hour. So yeah, we're within acceptable time frame.
Yeah, we're within time. Yeah, we're good.
They just have more wrestling, and we'll have more to talk about. It's as simple as that. It's like,
yeah.
But yeah, so kind of a shorter episode, but thank you all for joining us for the Bad Blood 2024. Nice little 20th anniversary of Bad Blood from the last event. I think the last one was 04.
Yeah.
So
just about, yeah.
Brought it back.
Sounds about right.
I wonder if it's going to be a yearly thing or not, or if it's just this was the event just to get the Punk Drew McIntyre feud across. But if we have another one next year, we'll cover that one as well. And yeah, as the next few months go by, we'll be talking about several other big pay-per-views as we wind down the year. And yeah, the next year we have more work to do because they're starting to make a lot of shit 2 days because they fucking hate us. So
us specifically.
Us specifically, which means I'm gonna have to dedicate a whole weekend to wrestling and not anything else. So
basically.
Oh no.
Oh no, not chores right. Not chores I have to do. So, but yeah, we have a back catalog of all the stuff from this year and last year, I believe. We have a social media presence on Twitter, which is down in the link. Sometimes I remember to post to it. Sometimes I just forget. We have audio versions. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, you can find us on any of the podcaster services you may use. And I live near a military base, so these planes just keep fucking flying over me. I don't know if anybody else can hear them on my microphone, but like my house is being drowned out by propeller sounds. I don't know if it's being picked up. But if you guys are listening also on a podcast service, we do have these videos up on YouTube where you can see our beautiful faces in a Discord window because I am uncreative about what to do with these videos. So, but we will see you guys next week for Wrestle Dream. And then in a few weeks, for something else. Survivor Series. I think we have Survivor Series one weekend, and then a week or two after we have Full Gear. So
because Crown Jewel is in the middle of all that, and
yeah, we're not gonna be covering Crown Jewel. The blood money is not worth it, even with Vince gone.
No, it's not.
And I think this is the 4th year. So another 6 years of this shit.
They're starting to do like more than one show in Saudi Arabia per year.
They are starting to do multiple shows. So. But yeah, we're not going to be covering any of that. We're not going to be covering anything that has a weird time zone, more than likely, unless, we have the ability to. So, Wrestle Dynasty will be up in the air until you see an episode or not. So. But yeah. Anything you guys want to add?
No, that's about it.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Think we got there.
We got there. All right, guys. We will see you all next week. Take care, and we'll see you around.
See ya.
Bye-bye.